Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are heading to Los Angeles, the city of angels, for a fun vlog. My mom and I went to Los Angeles for just a couple of days right before we headed to Hawaii, and I actually lost the first 5 minutes of footage of this vlog. I had a room tour and everything of where we were staying and the view from where we were staying, but it all got lost. But we stayed at the Hollywood Roosevelt, which is a very famous old hotel that many famous actors back in the day in old Hollywood stayed at, like Marilyn Monroe. And it is supposedly one of the most haunted hotels in Hollywood as well. It's got a view of the Hollywood sign and the Chinese theater depending on where you're staying in there. So highly recommend. One of the first activities we did when we got to LA was the Warner Brothers studio tour. The two biggest things I wanted to do were the Warner Brothers and Paramount Studios production studio tours. And so Warner Brothers was really fun. Obviously, they have all things Harry Potter and DC, and quite a few shows are currently filming there. All of the Friends stuff is there. So if you're interested in any of those, universes, if you will, I highly recommend checking it out. The tour started around their backlots, which we got a lot of really cool information on about all the different things that had filmed there and how they transformed these backlots into different environments based off of the TV shows or movies that are filming there. It was very cool. We learned a ton, and I wish I could relay it all. This alleyway is where Spider-Man got kissed in the very first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. And for instance, that Steamtown Hobbies sign you see there is where the place that Sheldon has his first job at in Young Sheldon, which was cool. So if you're a fan of that show, Big Bang Theory also filmed here. And Abbott Elementary is currently filming here, so you'll see a lot of stuff referencing or showing the current Abbott Elementary sets, which was really cool. I haven't watched Abbott Elementary yet, but this definitely made me want to for sure. We also got to see the Friends fountain, which was so fun, and we got to sit on the couch, which is actually fiberglass, so it's not comfy, but you can sit on it and take a picture, which is cool. This is Love's cupcake shop or bakery from Netflix's You. A lot of Gilmore Girls episodes filmed here. There was just a ton. Shameless, they have their own gas station. It was just, I can't even put into words. I was geeking out the entire time we were here, not just from a shows that I love perspective, but also the behind the scenes perspective that I just geek out over. So that was their prop warehouse. And then we went inside for the Friends experience, where they have an entire Central Perk themed cafe you can actually eat at, order a coffee at, all that good stuff. It was adorable. So we stopped by and looked at that for a little bit and then headed into some of their exhibits. So when you first go in, it's kind of focused on what it takes to put together a TV show or a movie. So it talks about the writing process, the casting process, all of that good stuff. And then there were a lot of props and costumes from Warner Brothers Studios projects in this area as well. So obviously you can see Mars Attack stuff, Selena, the new Elvis movie, which I absolutely loved. Y'all stop hating on Austin Butler for his Elvis voice. Let him live, okay? The Friends set was here, which was so cool. My mom and I got to sit on the couch again and take a picture, which was so fun. I'm a huge Friends fan, and so is my mom. So that was just such a good time. There was a whole leading ladies exhibit, which with a bunch of famous costumes and an entire Big Bang Theory section. You could also go sit on the couch and get a picture in the Big Bang Theory set, which was super fun, and we definitely did. And the Big Bang Theory set was fun because there's just so many good nerdy hidden gems in it that I just was enjoying looking around trying to find little references to other nerdy things that I love, like Star Wars and Star Trek and Marvel and all that sort of stuff. So super fun there. Got to see some costumes and some prototypes of different Batmobiles. We got to play around with the forced perspective table from The Hobbit, which was super cool, and it works very well. I definitely look way bigger than my mom, and we were laughing about it for a hot minute. And they had some really cool interactive stuff here, like you could kind of see what it takes to build a 3D, like CGI figure. So you got to kind of walk and be Dobby, which was super fun in like various stages. They also had a section where you could go into a green screen room. So Mom did the Bat Pod, and I did a Harry Potter themed one where I was like riding on a broom, and it's so silly, and they give you a video at the end, but we were just loving the corniness of it. So then we headed back into Central Perk, because that whole exhibit kind of loops around and drops you back off at Central Perk. And we decided to stop and get some food. So I got like a Cubano melt, and Mom got like a pizza foldy thingy. And mine was actually really good. We also got a cupcake that Mom really enjoyed. They also have different drinks named after the different Friends characters, which is super fun. So I didn't order any of those, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe I should have, but that's okay. So after we sat and ate, we went into the Friends gift shop, which is all like basically recreated sets, or, not recreated, but like embodies them. Obviously it's not like the full set, but it just does kind of give you like the feel of the set, which was very cool and had a lot of like good hidden gems from the show. They had costumes and encasements that you could look at. And so much fun Friends merch. I'm surprised Mom and I did not spend a gajillion dollars in here. I think Mom just bought like a hoodie and one other thing for a friend. But if you're a Friends fan, you could easily spend hundreds of dollars here because they have so much great merch. I loved seeing Gladys and Hugsy up there. So fun. And Phoebe's bike and the turkey Monica gets on her head. Like, it's just, I loved all the little hidden gems. It was very thorough. Then we headed over to the superheroes and magic sort of section. They had a lot of costumes from different DC movies and the Fantastic Beasts movies, which were really cool. They also had all of the wands of the characters from the Fantastic Beasts movies, which again, I love seeing all the different props. They had the Martyrs map, which was awesome. I mean, this potion room was really fun because you could make different potions, and the different cauldrons would like swirl and turn different colors, which was really cool. You could also go pick out a wand and do like a quick wielding your wand class over here, which a couple of people were doing, which is so fun. And then, of course, you had plenty of wands you could pick out, from the movies. Then we went over behind that area, and it kind of had a more, Harry at the Dursleys moment. So they obviously have the staircase, and then the little room that Harry lives in when he's living with them, which is really cool. They had some more kind of props around this area, and they had a bunch of letters that looked like they were floating around. Sorry, some of the camera work is real jank in here. I don't even know what I was doing. I just wasn't even paying attention. But again, like I said, you could see Harry's little under the stairs room, Harry's spectacles, which was really cool. This super creepy Dobby like puppet thing model. It just looked terrifying.
You have a love of learning. With a brain like yours, it has to be Ravenclaw!
Let's tell you. You saw that haircut. He's like, it's gotta be a Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Let's see.
See how it says
Mm-hmm.
What is Gryffindor?
They're the only people with orange hair.
Gryffindor!
What'd I say?
Will shape you into the wizard you are meant to be.
Ready? Mm-hmm. I was so excited that Mom and I got to get sorted by the sorting hat. That was so much fun. looked around for a little bit more and then headed over to the DC section again. They had a lot of Wonder Woman stuff, which is really cool. I actually haven't watched the Wonder Woman films. I haven't really gotten into DC the same way I've gotten into Marvel. I knew if I took my time to like watch them all, I definitely would, because I can nerd out about anything. I have seen Aquaman though, and that was cool to see the Aquaman costume in person. It is very intricate and looks like it's probably very, very heavy to wear. They had all sorts of different Batman and Superman costumes. You've got the Flash. Like, it was really cool. It was very costume heavy. Like, there were lots of costumes. The like Bruce Wayne lair area was really cool. They had the Batmobile and the Batpod, and then kind of this like whole wall to make it look like you're like underground, like in Bruce Wayne's lair, which was really cool. And then they had different Batman costumes from a lot of the different Batman movies. They did have the Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz.
Caught me off guard.
Scare ya?
I guess it's motion detected.
So after Mom got spooked by the Aquaman creeper guy, this is what I was talking about. They have the Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz costumes, which was cool. And they've also got a display cases of their awards, Golden Globes, Oscars. Very, very cool. They also had a lot of good, you know, like kind of older Hollywood stuff. Seeing Humphrey Bogart's suit from Casablanca was really cool because that movie is obviously just such a classic. And so guess what? After the Warner Brothers studio tour, we went back to our room, had a snack, and went to the Paramount Studios tour.
Ready?
Yes. I've got to bring on my fingers.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, did you thank the Academy?
Academy, thank you.
Because they will hear you.
So yeah, they actually let us hold a real Oscar, which was awesome. And then seeing this Paramount Gate was iconic. Because obviously it's like so iconic in Hollywood. And they had a bench, the actual bench Tom Hanks sat on in Forrest Gump. Then we headed down to the back lots where they had a really cool kind of like subway look. This is the area where Captain America gets beat up and says, "I can do this all day," in the first Captain America movie, which is so cool. Then we went into this like kind of staged prop house where you can just basically look and enjoy a bunch of props from some of your favorite movies and franchises. They have the Grease Lightning car from like the Grease Live that like Ariana Grande was in. A sign from Star Trek, which is actually, and this like beam me down or beam me up, whatever it is. It's not actually from Star Trek. It's actually from the Brady Bunch, both of those pieces, which I thought was really funny that they had like Star Trek stuff that wasn't even for Star Trek. But they have tons of signs everywhere. They had Optimus Prime in his, you know, car form, his big, you know, whatever. And they had Bumblebee in his actual like Transformer form, not as, you know, a little VW bug. They had stuff from Interstellar. They had an actual hair drying seat from Greece. Like, it was very cool. So this is actually the next day. Mom and I did a walking food tour in downtown LA. We started at this place called Pachoon and had an almond like croissant pastry thing, and it was very delicious. And so we just kind of walked around a lot of downtown LA, and it was very cool. The tour that we had was really awesome. Our tour guide was great. I cannot for the life of me think of the name of the tour, but they did a really, really good job. And what I liked about it is that we got to obviously try a lot of food, but then she also gave us a lot of history and like architectural history of LA, which I really didn't realize how much cool history LA had, apart from just like old Hollywood and everything. So highly recommend taking a tour of downtown LA and actually understanding kind of like the settlement that is now Los Angeles, because it was all really fascinating. And we got to tour a couple of like the most famous buildings and see some different spots where movies had filmed in downtown LA, which was also really cool. And then we also had some literally like dark black and teal and hot pink ice cream at this one little shop. It was so cool.
In 1977. So we've got the robot feet for R2-D2, C-3PO, there's Darth Vader, Harrison Ford, Han Solo, Steven Spielberg, and George Lucas, the directors as well.
Wow.
Some
That's
other
so
big,
cool.
more recent names: Eddie Murphy, Nicolas Cage right over here. But you've also got classic Hollywood names: Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, George Stevens. But you can see that their handprints and footprints are fading away at this point, especially because they're near the entrance. They get walked on more often. So if you ever get to make handprints and footprints of the Chinese theater, make them like Clint Eastwood. Dig your hands way down into the cement. It will buy you some extra time. You've also got Morgan Freeman, one of our resident Scientologists, Tom Cruise right over here. Here is Leo, the MGM lion, who roars in the intro of the MGM movies. So for the 90th anniversary of MGM in 2014, they really brought a lion out here to the courtyard and had it stand in cement. You can find that footage on YouTube.
Wow. Ron Howard, Mom. Ron Howard.
My favorite classic Hollywood actor. Here is Jimmy Stewart. Now, Jimmy Stewart, I think, if you go back through Hollywood history, was in some of the best movies ever made. It's a Wonderful Life, Mr. Keep my shadow off.
Sorry.
You're good.
Thanks.
Over here are the hands that hit Chris Rock in the face. This is Will Smith.
That's funny.
You've got George Burns, who always had a cigar with him. Cigar in the cement. Bing Crosby. We also heard some of his music recently, so there's a little music at the top of his. Eleanor Powell, the tap dancer. Her tap soles are now in the cement.
Oh, wow.
It's a fun one. But a more famous dancer right over here, Shirley Temple. Only 7 years old when she made these tiny little bare
They're
footprints.
so little.
Oh, they might be kicking us out of here soon for something. We'll see. Over here, though, Joe Brown, kind of like John Barrymore, who was famous for his profile. La La Land is over there. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Robert Downey Jr., Michael Caine, Christopher Walken. Here is Meryl Streep. Whoopi Goldberg, where she put her dreadlocks into the cement. Warren Beatty. Steven Seagal for some reason. You got Sam Elliott over here. Mel Brooks, one of the funniest humans that's ever lived, wearing a fake finger on his left hand to look like he has 6 fingers. This is the Avengers cast all ringed around the big A. Stan Lee, they got him just before he passed away.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and you can tell these are the newest, one from the dates, but 2 from the size. Clearly they are running out of space here. Now they are much more small.
There's already jazz too.
He does. So does Whoopi Goldberg from the Star Trek. That's very, very rare though. And there are some in storage, so you never get to see all of the